Hi everyone, it's Sunday, February 11th, time for another HideNet Week in Review. I'm Vera Dordick. The Lunar New Year holiday officially started on Friday and it runs through next weekend, but as we know, Chinese tanners have been winding down for a while now. For the U.S. market, that meant that interest was lower and those in the market who were there were looking for bargains. Overall, the situation remains weak, but prices are relatively steady on limited volumes. Heavy Texas steers sold at steady levels, which is $22 for seasonal averages. For cow sellers, they say they remain well sold and that prices are steady. Combined export sales for the period ending February 2nd were half of the previous week's total, coming in at just 336,300. Combined shipments were again lower, and they were down by 6% from the previous week at 482,100. Estimated slaughter for the week ending February 10th was 622,000, and that's 2% lower than last week. Turning to Europe, editor Andrea Guello says that in Italy, crisis plans are being triggered and leather goods are included. And he says there will be a lot of people at the fairs coming up in Milan, but actually recovery is not expected until the second half of the year. Looking at the British market, it's completely uneventful because the monthly production has already been placed at the prices we reported last week. So those prices are flat, with the 36 plus ox at unchanged at 84 cents sterling to the EU per kilo. And in Ireland, the prices are 90 cents in euros per kilo in Italy and $46 per piece in sales to China. For European bulls, prices were generally stable except for some declines for the origins that had not yet dropped. Buyers still think prices are too high overall, and even with lower slaughter, there's no room to go up. Reference prices for North German bulls at 40 to 49 kilos are 95 cents in euros, and South German prices also remain steady. The European cow situation appears to be in balance, and last week's prices, which were a little lower, still stand. Regarding veal skins, prices are weakening, but the best of the best are still getting the top prices. In his analysis this week, Andrea looks at the crisis spreading through the industry, which is now affecting luxury leather goods. He also previews the upcoming fairs and what's likely to happen when everyone gathers in Milan. From South America, editor Ronald Guiel reports that the average price of fresh hides settled back down to 85 cents per kilo in reals, giving up the 1 cent it added last week. The reference price of TR1 is unchanged at 65 cents per square foot in dollars. For Argentina, prices are unchanged and demand remains quite weak. In other news from Brazil, January cattle slaughter was a record in Mato Grosso, and the Brazilian footwear sector lost more than 20,000 jobs in 2023. From elsewhere in Latin America, Colombia's 2023 footwear exports were flat. Pro-Colombia hosted international buyers at the IFLS and EICI fairs. And in Mexico, the country's footwear production decreased in 2023. That is all we have for this week. Until next week, good night from HideNet.